भोजन के बाद भजन, भजन के बाद थोड़ा बुद्धि को काम लगाना चाहिए, नहीं तो सो जाएगा वो। सो अपना अपना योग बुद्धि को आप ही जागृत करने का कोशिश करिए। For that we have a wonderful person who is a devotee, initiated devotee, a super specialty doctor by profession, who has established his own imaging center. बहुत लोगों को मालूम भी हो गया होगा जो आश्रम के डिवोटीज हैं, Pinnacle Imaging Center in the Juhu. A person who is known for his knowledge, what Swamiji puts, we want Western science coupled with Vedanta. If you want to find doctor, I think he's the man. This is what my experience with him for the last 2 years, because I have to deal every day with patients, diagnosis, dealing with so many doctors. In the name of super speciality, we have forgotten to see the patient as a whole. That's what we try to learn about holistic wellness in the last session. A person who has that super specialty knowledge, as a background, he has that Vedantic ideas, and he's a sadhaka, a devotee, a good doctor, and good human being, whom I know very well for the last 2 years. Such a man who is always ready to serve. Dr. Roshan Shetty will be reading from Swami Vivekananda's letters, conversations with devotees. So I request Dr. Roshan Shetty to come over on the dais for reading on Swami Vivekananda by a devotee.
My pranams to Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, Swamiji, and all the assembled monks and householder disciples and true children of Sri Ramakrishna. So, first I would like to begin that whatever extracts I have picked up are extracts where many of my doubts and queries regarding what Swamiji wanted to convey to us has been solved by reading these extracts. So first, I always meet a lot of monks in our mission, and I develop a lot of familiarity with them, and sometimes do not understand with genuine gratitude what their company means. This, in the first conversation of Swamiji, we can very well come to know. Swamiji told Girish Chandra Ghosh to speak to assembled monks at Belur Math. Girish Babu sat motionless, voiceless, like marble, absolutely lost in joy. And when at last he opened his lips, he did so to say, "Ah, what can this humble self speak of our Lord of unbounded mercy? Verily in this alone I realize his mercy, that to me, this lowly creature, he has extended the privilege of sitting and mixing on the same footing with you sannyasis, pure from your childhood, who have renounced all lust and lucre." While speaking thus, the words choked in his throat and he could not speak anything anymore. So honestly, this is what I truly feel from the bottom of my heart. Now the next important question which has always bothered me is, when I read gospel, I feel Sri Ramakrishna is trying to tell us more about bhakti. When I read Swamiji, who actually has introduced Sri Ramakrishna to most of us, I feel he is concentrating, focusing on Karma Yoga. So do I understand Ramakrishna better than Swamiji, that Swamiji is probably not guiding us properly based on what India was feeding at that time because of our slavery? So these conversations solved that doubt of mine. So his disciple has asked him the same question probably, so which Swamiji replies. Making Swami Akhandanand the subject of his remarks, Swamiji said to the disciple, "Mark you, what a great hero he is in work. Of fear, death and the like, he has no cognizance, doggedly going on doing his own work for the welfare of the many, for the happiness of the many." Disciple, "Sir, that power must have come to him as a result of good deal of austerities." Now the disciple means austerities means the conventional austerities which we think. Swamiji, "True, power comes of austerities, but again, working for the sake of others itself constitutes tapasya. The Karma Yogis regard work itself as a part of tapasya. As on the one hand, the practice of tapasya intensifies altruistic feelings in the devotee and actuates him to unselfish work, so also the pursuit of work for the sake of others carries the worker to the last fruition of tapasya, namely the purification of the heart, and leads him thus to the realization of the Supreme Atman. Disciple again has some doubts. But sir, how few of us can wholeheartedly work for the sake of others from the very outset? How difficult it is for such broad-mindedness to come to us at all, making us sacrifice the desire for our own happiness and devote their lives to others. Swamiji says very clearly, and how many have their minds going truly after tapasya? With the attraction of lust and lucre working the other way, how many us honestly long for realization of God? In fact, disinterested work is quite as difficult as tapasya. So you have no right to say anything against those who go in for work in the cause of others. If you find tapasya to be your liking, well, go on with it. Another may find work as congenial to himself, and you have no right to make a prohibition in his case. You seem to have a settled idea in your mind that work is no tapasya at all. Swamiji also adds, as by continuing our religious practices, we gradually develop a certain determined tendency for it. So, by performing disinterested work over and over again, even unwillingly, many a times we have to do it unwillingly, we gradually find the will merging in itself. The inclination to work for others develops in this way. Do you see? Just do some work. This is what Swamiji always says. Just do it. Do some work, even though unwillingly, and then see if the actual fruit of tapasya is realized within or not. Now, one more thing I have always thought about is sometimes even when I meet sadhus, we feel God realization is something which only few people can realize, or it is something which is an imagined thing for most of us householders or people who are aspirants. So in that, one thing is very clear for me, that I thought also like this disciple, sir, everything is wonderful about you. So what he means to say is, Swamiji is wonderful, that's why Swamiji has realized God. So Swamiji says, there is nothing wonderful in this universe. Ignorance constitutes the only darkness which confers all things and makes them look mysterious. When everything is lighted by knowledge, the sense of mystery vanishes from the face of things. Even such an inscrutable thing as Maya, which brings the most impossible things to pass, disappears. Know him, think of him, by knowing whom everything else is known. And when the Atman is realized, the purpose of all scriptures will be perceived as clearly as a fruit on the palm of one's hand. Now this is most important. The rishis of old attained realizations. So must we fail? We are also men. What has happened once in the life of one individual must, through proper endeavor, be realized in the life of others. History repeats itself. Atman is the same in all. There is only a difference of manifestation in different individuals. Try to manifest this Atman and you will see your intellect penetrating into all subjects. So what Swamiji means in this is, if Swamiji has realized God, we should also realize the God. And it should be a reality, and it should not be something that we think, oh, maybe we may not realize. What are we doing here then? So it should be honest reality for every spiritual aspirant, that let's realize God in this very life and as soon as possible. Now Swamiji also had a doubt, what is the purpose of this mutt? What is the purpose of this Ramakrishna mission? He answers it very well to the disciple in his own words. Swamiji continued, if the Lord wills, we shall make this mutt a great center of harmony. Our Lord is the visible embodiment of the harmony of all ideals. He will be established on earth if we keep alive that spirit of harmony here. We must see to it that people of all creeds and sects, from the Brahmana down to the Chandala, may come here and find their respective ideals manifested. The other day, when I installed Sri Ramakrishna on the mutt grounds, I felt as if his ideas shot forth from this place and flooded the whole universe, sentient and insentient. I for one, Swamiji is saying, I for one am doing my best and shall continue to do so. All of you too explain to people the liberal ideas of Sri Ramakrishna. What is the use of merely reading the Vedanta? We must prove the truth of pure Advaitism in practical life. Shankara left this Advaita philosophy in the hills and forests, while I have come to bring it out to those places and scatter it broadcast before the workaday world and society. The lion roar of Advaita must resound in every hearth and home, in meadows and groves, over hills and plains. Come all to my assistance and set yourself to work. And this has truly been Ramakrishna Mutt's mission. When I was a small child, Ramakrishna Maharaj used to treat me with more love than my parents. And that is why, and my driver, day before, wanted to take Gautamananji's Ashirwad. He was hesitant. I said, without me, because I was having to be in the clinic. I said, go, Sri Ramakrishna does not differentiate between anybody. You go. And he took, and he sent me a photo also along with Gautamananji Maharaj. That is Sri Ramakrishna. So last thing Swamiji also tried to tell us is, never take the preaching of religion to mean the turning up of one's nose at everything and at everybody. It matters physical, mental and spiritual. In everything we must give men positive ideas and never hate anybody. Always tell everybody 5% improve ho jao. But unka deficiency mat batao. It is your hatred of one another that has brought up or your degradation. Now we shall have to raise men by scattering broadcast only positive thoughts. First we must raise the whole Hindu race in this way, and then the whole world. That is why Sri Ramakrishna incarnated. He never destroyed a single man's special inclinations. He gave words of hope and encouragement even to the most degraded of persons and lifted them up. We too must follow in his footsteps and lift all up and rouse them. Do you understand? So the disciple is talking to Swamiji like all of us should after this hearing his words. Through your blessings and command, I think I shall succeed in everything. Thank you. Even before the talk, I prayed to Ramakrishna and Swamiji that he should talk through me and I should be faced. So please thank Swamiji for the talk.
Request Revered Swami Satyadevanand Maharaj to please felicitate Dr. Roshan Shetty. Thank you so much, Dr. Roshan Shetty. How well you have compiled and correlated with your own queries.